All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Nerd News episode 7. I am Eric the Brown. How are you guys doing today? I'm going to be starting off with Deadpool. Deadpool had a bunch of reviews come out for it, and they have all been positive. So, a lot of people are liking the new Deadpool movie. They're just, you know, kind of congratulating on having its sophomore release. Um, because a lot of people were doubting it after the Tim Miller left, and him and Ryan Reynolds were having their issues, their problems, and of course we don't know what all that was because it was behind the scenes. But it's good that it's doing great. And Ryan Reynolds and Tim Miller kind of released the whole thing, saying that like it was nothing that was harsh or said. It just was conflict of interest. They wanted two different things for the Deadpool properties, but it's good to see that they have a good sequel coming out and something to look forward to coming out soon, especially after Infinity War. That run of movies is going to be pretty good. How it's like Black Panther, then Infinity War, then Deadpool, then what else is going Han Solo, which we'll talk about a little later. The Solo movie, which looks good. I like the way it looks. Han Solo is my favorite character. And then after that, they got Incredibles 2 coming out, which looks amazing. So just talking about Infinity War, I was just thinking, but would Infinity War hit the $2 billion mark? Because um, it's moving and it's about 1.6 billion. So I'm thinking it's gonna hit the $2 billion mark. I would love for it to hit to beat out Avatar because I don't like that movie. I don't think it was any good. I think a lot of people like it for the special effects, but not for the actual story behind it. So I think it gets a lot of slack, and I don't like it being number one. I want something to take it down. But the thing is, movies don't stay in the movie theater for as long as that movie did anymore. So I'm just wondering if they're gonna keep Infinity War in the movie theaters for a long period of time, so it can actually win out over Avatar. I would love to see that personally because, like I said, I don't like Avatar. I didn't like the movie. I didn't think the acting was that good, aside from Zoe Saldana, who's she's awesome in everything, especially in Infinity War. If you didn't see it, check it out. Um, but I'm hoping it'll hit the $2 billion mark and knock out a couple other people. So in other news, Agents of Shield got renewed for a sixth season, which is awesome because if you've been watching this season is ridiculous. It's crazy. Like it starts off wild and then it just keeps going. The sixth season is only gonna have 13 episodes, which means this sixth season will probably be the last season of Agents of Shield, which it sucks to say because this show has been running great for so long that a lot of people just don't know because it's not getting the ratings it should. Um, yeah, but Han Solo reviews, the Han Solo reviews are in, and also as the Deadpool ones are in, but the Han Solo ones they're a little mixed, but it's still positive. So I'm still looking forward to seeing the movie and seeing what it's all about. Um, because like I said, Han Solo is my favorite character, and the fact that they're making a solo movie with him is gonna be awesome, like next to near amazingly awesome. Because I want to see like a lot of things. I want to see how he met Lando Calrissian. I want to see the the famous run, you know the Kessel run where he did in 12 parsecs. I want to see that. I want to see how he became the legendary Han Solo. So in other news, Mila Jovovich will be doing a movie adaptation of Monster Hunter. So with this, I don't know why they're doing this. I just have no clue. why they're doing a Monster Hunter movie. Monster Hunter doesn't have a storyline. It doesn't have any. It's hunting monsters all day, and you're trying to build a movie off of it. It's not enough material. It's not enough. There's no regular people in Monster Hunter. Basically, it's a character you create, and then you go through with other created characters to kill monsters. It's basically like adult Pokemon. So like the fact that they're trying to build a movie off of this is ridiculous. It's dumb, and they need to stop. I don't understand why properties like The Last of Us, even Halo, Mass Effect. I mean, I can go down God of War. Like they're making Monster Hunter of all things. It's an online mass multiplayer game. It doesn't make sense. You would have been better off doing a movie off of Destiny. At least that would have had some story behind it. Not a lot because Destiny doesn't. They don't do a whole lot unless you read the lore books, in which the lore books are so rich in history that they could make the movie just off of those. Like don't even focus on like where the characters play at right now. Just focus on kind of the stuff that happens in the past, because that's the more interesting stuff. Actually, when you read the lore books, you kind of gotta piece together stuff, and it doesn't make any sense why they're making a Monster Hunter movie. I'm totally against that, like fully on against it, like 100%. Like this isn't like the game to movie genre is already like skewed and messed up. Right now, there's only like one movie adaptation that stands as like the pinnacle, and that's probably Mortal Kombat, which came out in like 1995. The Tomb Raider that came out wasn't that bad, but it wasn't good either. So you gotta, I don't know, like they should just aim at more story oriented properties, so that they could get a good story and maybe get some good actors in to play those parts. Cause like I'm gonna be honest, why don't they just make? Oh, well, they have made Final Fantasy movies. They made the animated movies, but they need to make like a live action Final Fantasy movie, like do a Final Fantasy VII movie. Have that part where the chick dies when Sephiroth stabs her through the chest. Have like really good emotional parts so that people can connect with those characters. You're not connecting with somebody on Monster Hunters. It's random. You're hunting monsters. It's just online fun for you and your friends. Build up your library of monsters that you hunted. Do it together. It doesn't make sense. So in other news, Disney, not Disney, Nintendo. Nintendo has filed for some patents for a couple of games. A few of them, but one of the main titles that stood out was Star Fox Grand Prix, which they confirm is going to be a new Star Fox game, but along the lines of like Donkey Kong Country, not Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong Racing and F-Zero. So it's going to be a futuristic racer based thing, but it's gonna play like Diddy Kong Racing, but more like F-Zero. So it's gonna have that futuristic look with Star Fox characters, which is pretty cool. Um, not against it, not for it. I'll see what happens. As of right now, Switch has been going at a pace that's amazing. So I'm not gonna doubt Nintendo in any way. I mean, they've come up big in the last year since the Switch dropped. I mean, they've become a powerhouse in gaming again. So I mean, and they do it all the time. They just keep doing it and keep doing it. They just keep reinventing the wheel for gamers, and just like expanding upon gaming history. Just like their run is a 30-year run. So I mean, what they make is games, nonstop games. So it stands to reason that I will put my faith in them because they've lasted longer than anybody else. So another studio I like to talk about right now is Platinum Games. They released an article saying that they're going to release a game pretty soon, some information that is going to turn the action genre on its head. And if you played any of Platinum games, you know their games are pretty sick. I mean, Nier Automata is the latest one, but that game is amazing. And then I think before that they had Bayonetta 2. They're developing Bayonetta 3 right now, so I don't know if that's the property they're mentioning or it could be something else. But Bayonetta 2 was amazing. Metal Gear Rising was amazing, and what was that? Vanquish. That game was great. It was like a crazy robotic gun game. It's probably the closest I've seen to a game version of Iron Man. It was a really amazing game, and if you haven't played any of these games, I suggest you check them out before anything else comes out because these games are amazing. Like fast-paced action. They're not the easiest games, but they're always rewarding and great to play. So they released a release date also for Wolfenstein on the Switch, which is June 29th. And they released that it's going to be about 13.7 gigs. So so those people who still got Zelda sitting on their systems, time to wipe that thing off. I mean, if you got an SD card, you don't have to really worry about it. I would recommend buying a 128 or SD card, or if you can afford the 256, you know. But yeah, I mean, like Wolfenstein, I can't wait to see some actual footage of it being played on the Switch because Doom plays smooth as fuck on it. Excuse me, but it plays smooth as hell on the Switch, and like I haven't finished it, but like I always keep it in my bag when I'm traveling or something like that. I whip it out, play it, and then I put it back, you know. So it was also said that Japan, well, Super Hot, the game. If you haven't played Super Hot, it's kind of like a first-person shooter puzzle type of thing, where the world only moves when you move. I know it sounds a little confusing, but it works out really nice. Like if you play the game, if you played it plays so nice. Like in this a different type of puzzle thing. So they're gonna be making a Japanese sequel to it. Well, a Japanese development company will be making the sequel to Super Hot under the guidance of the original developers. So that development company in Japan is called Game Tomo. So they're going to be making a sequel to Super Hot. So they haven't given any details on what it's going to be like. Is it going to play like the same old game? So look forward to more news about that because I really like Super Hot. And I think it was a really unique game to release on a first person shooter basis because first person shooters are all you know, shoot 'em ups, and then you have some unique games like Fallout that aren't just shoot 'em ups, that are RPGs. Skyrim, what was a few games? Oh, Portal was like a first person puzzle game, so I think that would be more comparable to Super Hot. Portal is a first person super game. Well, you know, I want to see what's going on there. Um, so lately, Cliff Bleszinski, Cliffy B, you know, his company that had Lawbreakers kind of folded in because you know those games weren't making the money or bringing in the crowd like he originally intended. So he actually released some fan art and details on games he was planning on releasing. You can probably go on his Twitter page and check those out. So I won't go into the whole list. I just mentioned the one that stuck out to me was like ninjas with riding dragons, and I was like, that sounds awesome. So yeah, I was looking forward to that. And last but definitely not least is praise the gods, praise the gaming gods. All right, because they're going to be releasing information about Kingdom Hearts 3. So Square Enix will be releasing May 18th, I believe it is. They're releasing information about Kingdom Hearts 3. Finally. Finally. God, we only waited about 10, 20 years. It felt like 20 years. But I think the original Kingdom Hearts came out in around 99. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. It had to be around 99 or 2000. So it was like 99, 2000, 2001 because it was on a PlayStation 2. So but like that game originally came out around that time. It's been almost 20 years. It's 2018, so it's close to that 20-year mark. They're gonna be releasing information about Kingdom Hearts 3 finally on the 18th before E3. So what I'm thinking is they're gonna release a bunch of information about it, and then when it's the E3, they're gonna be showing actual gameplay footage and maybe give us a date on Kingdom Hearts 3. Maybe it would be awesome for them to give us a date and finally like put people's like anxiety to rest, like get the game. People can stop obsessing over it and finally be able to play the game. So I'm looking forward to that. But what are you guys looking forward to? Hit me back, like the channel, hit the bell, um, updating videos regularly every week. You can also catch me on Twitter at edog11885. You can catch me on the Facebook, the Gaming Advisory Facebook page. And until next time, I'm Eric the Brown, and this has been an episode of Nerd News.